everybody! I'm back, and I'm back with my Hobonichi Weeks memory keeping journal that I will be using for the rest of this year, and I would like to show you my setup. So my setup for October, November, December 2019. Okay, so before we jump into this, let me just have a quick sip of coffee. Maybe you can bring your coffee as well, or tea, or any other kind of drink. So, okay, here is, as you can remember from the previous video maybe, here is my ink painted cover for my Hobonichi Weeks, and of course there is also the cover on cover, so together they look like this. I also have this writing board, pencil board, and it matches nicely. The colors are quite close. Okay, so let me just put it on a specific place. I generally hold it like this at the back, so it's okay. And yes, also I have like 2 paper clips, because of course today it's already we are already in November, at the beginning of November, and so I have already started to write in this journal, and I would like to keep it kind of a personal, private. So this is why I clipped together pages that are already filled in. So I have like 2 places where I have already written something that I would like to keep private, at least for now. Also, typically I share my the pages of my memory journals. I share them on Instagram. I will put the link down below, but the link is also in my YouTube channel profile, like this first main page. So you can find me on Instagram, and there I share my pages. I'm not very comfortable with sharing my pages on YouTube, because when you do these flip throughs, you see everything. Like, it's hard to cover. You can maybe take some post-its and cover the photos, but I would like to keep private also my text, because sometimes I use names, so sometimes it's like I write about like everything. So it's hard. I would need to cover like everything. But when I deal with a photo, like, because on Instagram you share photos, not videos, I can blur the text slightly, so that you can still see that there is some text, there is something written happening on the page, but you can't read it. And so Instagram and photo is a better tool for me for sharing my pages than the video. So for now, I'm not thinking about sharing my pages on YouTube, but what I can share, and I'm going to share today, is my setup. Okay, so let's jump into it, because I have been talking for a long time already. So generally, when you open Hobonichi Weeks, I don't know if you know this journal, there are several blank pages, and I have a tendency, because I already had a Hobo Weeks as a journal, and I like to cover the first page with, yes, nothing extremely creative, yes, but I still like it. So I cover this page with stickers, Mambi stickers that represent the 4 seasons of the year, and I write so there's bigger stickers, some smaller ones, and I train a little bit myself in handwriting. So just like spring, summer, autumn, winter, nothing crazy. Then this one, I just wanted to specify that, okay, I'm talking about the whole year at this side, but in reality this journal will keep only 3 months of this year. So I tried to use my Tombow markers to kind of highlight the month I will be writing in this journal. So it's October, November, December, and I chose the colors that represent this month for me. And what is actually this? I think, oh yeah, I prepared this. Actually, it's a stamp that comes like this. I mean, this is not a stamp, it's already stamped on the paper. And so you can have like month, days of month, days of week, and it's in French, okay? So it's that is why you don't understand maybe everything. And then you have also the clock, like it goes from 1 to 12. So it's quite nice because you can use it really in very many different ways. And I decided to cut off the center because I don't need the clock, like the hours. And I just put, okay, only 3 months in here, not more. Yeah. So then when you turn the page, I have something crazy, yes? So what actually I shared this on I have a very short small video on Instagram what I did to my previous Hobonichi week's journal. What I did, because of course this paper, tomorrow paper, is very thin, and after several months with all my embellishments, photos and everything I put in here, it will get fat. And this is what happened to my previous journal. And after several months, it was like, for me, because I like little bit chunky, but not really big chunky. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to look at. For example, when people share their beautiful chunky monkey journals, and Hobonichi deals perfectly with like the chunkiness. It doesn't fall apart. But the problem for me personally is I just don't like it, and it's hard to write in. So what I decided to do in here, and also what I decided to do in my previous journal, is simply to cut off some pages, like several pages. So remember, I have only 3 months in here. So all 9 resting months, I took them off. Partially because I was using this Hobonichi weeks at the beginning of this year as my planner, but I told you already in my previous video that it didn't work for me. So first I had to take like first 2 or 3 months of the year because they were already filled in with my planning stuff. And then I took away also the other pages that were just blank because I wasn't using it at all. So what I did 2 big cuts. First one in this monthly section, because normally this first part is like monthly overview. So these are not many but several. And then I did a second big cut. There are many pages, and these are all 9 months of this planner journal, right? And honestly, it doesn't bother me. What the only thing I had to do, I mean, visually it's okay for me. I understand that there are people who are like freaking out, like what did she do? But honestly, I'm okay with it. I don't, and can you see? It's. I think I couldn't avoid completely the changes because we are at the beginning of October, and it's already quite like, you know, now since now if I add embellishments and everything, it just will grow and grow, and I couldn't stop this. But at least I took away pages I didn't need, and I helped my Hobonichi to get a little bit slimmer. Okay. The only thing I needed is to kind of to give a little bit of strength to my to these pages that like were before and after this horrible section. And I just took some not very thick, but some a little bit sturdier scrapbook paper. So I just chose this one because it's like imitation of leather, and it goes nicely with the color of my cover. And then I wanted something lighter, something a little bit more airy, and this is why I chose this pattern with a lot of blank space. And I did the same thing in here, not on this page, but on this one. So I have like a section, and there are like monthly in between. And then I did it, I think that's all. I don't have it anywhere else. Yeah, so just here and here actually. Oh no, wait a minute, I think, yes. And then, because normally after your year you have these like 200 of pages, because this is a Hobonichi Mega. So I also kind of I took several pages away, because also when I was using it as my planner, I was writing some notes in here, but these pages were not like many. It was like 10 pages, so I took them away with no problem. And also I want to strengthen a little bit the remaining pages, so I used this. So here is like this page that is meant to be an index, and then the first page I used the same paper as this one. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, and this was a kind of explanation at the beginning, and now let's jump into my decoration. So this is what I decided to do. I wanted to keep it a little bit, because I like when things like repeat, that there is some regularity, something that defines a little bit the kind, the type, the nature of my journal. So this time I wanted things to be like autumnastic, because of course October and November, and then of course we will have December. So December is we are already like in winter. And I wanted to choose some colors that I could like use through the whole journal, and to give it like, to make it coherent, Of course, then I like to change colors, change layouts, change different things, but I needed something like to define, to give some identity to this journal. And this is like, I do it with every journal, not necessarily with colors. I do it with, for example, I keep the same style, or the same color, or the same something. I want this regularity, this cohesiveness throughout my whole journal. So for this journal, what I decided to use is this washi tape. It's like wood, it's imitation of wood. I like it's brown, like light brown. It's like this brown. And I decided, okay, you will use this washi tape. So I use it like here on the monthly pages, but I also use it in here. So these are weekly, so you have week on one side and note page on the other side. And everywhere I put some washi tape. It's always the same washi tape. So this is this like motif that brings everything together. Okay, and then I started to change things from page to page. So for example, in here I wanted to add some embellishment. So for December I will also show you. So November and October, you can see that they are pretty much the same structure. So always this washi tape plus maybe stickers, right? So here, for example, you have this chain of pumpkins. Here we have leaves and some branches from Christmas tree. And these are all stickers from two different Mambi sticker value packs. One, the more traditional one, and the other one is seasons with the girls. designed girls that were so popular. Okay, and these like November, December, these are actually I die cutted them. I mean, I die cutted them, so I have die cuts with separate. These were like separated individual letters, imitating this script, and so I used these. And what I will be doing in here, I will be actually tracking. This will be more, this part of my whole journal will be more like a tracker, the journal, and I did it. I did the same thing in several previous journals. And what I'm tracking here, I don't know if you can see. There is like small e, M, P. Oh, okay, I will show you maybe here because I already. So this is I already filled. This is all I already filled in, but I don't care sharing it. So what I track is E stands for energy, M stands for mood, and P stands for productivity. And I don't know if you can see it, I don't think, but normally because it's grid, okay, it's a grid paper, I'm not sure, I hope you can see, and there is like six places, small rooms to put something. So in the first one I put the letter representing the category I'm tracking, and then I have like 5 places, and 5 places is for me like, you know, this evaluation, for example, for films or anything, like you have 5 stars, right? Going from a 1, it's like, it was a really tough day, to 5, it was excellent. So maybe I was very energized, or my mood was excellent, or I was extremely productive. And so if this was the case, I would have put like all 5 dots, but unfortunately it was not the case. And also what I'm tracking is the weather, because weather, I don't know, guys. When I first heard about tracking weather, I was like, why people do this? I couldn't get it. But then once I decided, okay, so maybe for 1 year I would like to do it, just to know, like to have have later a bigger picture, like how temperatures and weather changes throughout the year. Okay, so I conceived it as a 1 year project. Okay, and I did it. It was great. And I liked it. I used to do it every day, and then I stopped. And when I stopped, it was like, okay, something is missing. And for several months, I was not tracking weather. And then I was like, oh yes, this year it was interesting, but I can't go back and look at the weather, even if I know that this year it was a little bit different from the previous year, but I don't have a record, I haven't documented it, and it was like something was missing in my life. So now today I totally completely understand how people writing down or like documenting the weather and all these things. Even if I couldn't understand it at the beginning, yes, now I'm used to it, I like it, and I like to go back. It's not just about the habit, you know, like, okay, I will write it, but I like to go back and really look at, I like to open a page and see, like, okay, this month, how it was, like, it was rather nice weather, or warm weather, or it was colder, and I think it became a little bit a little patient, like it's not a big patient, of course, but just something I like to do. And so I decided to go back to this tracking, and so you can see the weather. So I will always draw a picture and just note down the temperature in Celsius, because I live in Europe, we use Celsius. Yes, so this is how it will go on. And then we have the same, of course, for November, and the same for December. I just, to differentiate the categories, I just use different colors that kind of match, even if not completely, but I don't mind. They kind of match the colors of the stickers, so it creates kind of mood, like typical colors for October, typical for November, and so on. Okay, so as I told you, after December there is nothing more, so we have a kind of dividers, and then we jump into weeklies, and I think I will be able to show you something, or maybe, you know, I will try. Let me try something, but I will need my pencil board. Even if I already wrote something inside, I can do this. So, yeah. So I decided to mark like the beginning of each month, even if in my weeklies. So, as always, I put, can you see it, this washi tape at the bottom. It's like everywhere. And then, because October started on on Tuesday, I could use the Monday space to put like October, and of course this once again the letters and the pumpkins, you can once again see the same styles because they are still the same Mambi stickers pumpkins and the same die cut it letters. Okay. And now I was doing something in between, of course. I don't want to show you. And here I kind of pre-decorate, because we are still in this week, okay? We are on Saturday, so we are in here. So today, this evening, or maybe tomorrow morning, I will fill this section. And I have this page like a little bit pre-decorated, but I will fill it after this week ends, and it will be kind of, I still don't know exactly what I want to do. Either I can write like something like overall, like how the week was in general, or I can pick up just one important event or something that marks me more than others and to write more about this. I still don't know, or maybe it will be only decorative. I don't know because of course there is not a lot of space, right? And so in here I just put like one sentence, or even just several keywords like representing what happened this day. But sometimes, of course, I would like to comment it more. I would like to write more about it, or I have a photo that goes with it, or something else. But I don't need to use this page for this, because it wouldn't be enough, at least for me, because I'm a big writer. I like to write really a lot, so it wouldn't be enough. I couldn't fit writing and decoration, and I think it would be like too much writing in here. So what I decided to do, I decided to write, as I told you, just a couple of words to just as a reminder. Okay, this day, like a summary of what happened this day, and to journal, to do the real journaling in here, like in the back, in these 200 pages of notes. Okay, and how it looks, well, it looks like this. I can show you only the fifth, because once again the pages in between, like you can see I already started to fill in. So how I pre-decorated my pages, or prepared my pages, is like this. So I used, there will be like a page a day, and in here I will have enough space to write really about the things I just mentioned quickly in here, okay? So I have for the 5th, for the 6th, and etc. And what I decided once again to keep it kind of cohesive, so washi tapes, and I also have this washi tape, this brown washi tape with grit. It's actually, if you don't know, it's a big roll of washi tape, very large one, and it's from Classici, and it's beautiful. And so I also decided, because you could see it like in here and in daily pages, so this is another element I decided to use to make the pages coherent. Okay, and the washi tapes, actually I decided to use only washi tapes that will like repeat. So this one like pink and brown, this one like pumpkins but in bright way. Then we have some like flowers, like, yes, it's flowers, but still it's like autumnalistic color. So I thought like it will be okay, it could be okay. And then another pumpkins, but in a lighter version, and it goes on and on like this. And also I changed the placement of the washi tape, so it's kind of nice variability. Yeah, and this is not all. So once again, these pages are to write really I can like my daily longer entries, and like explanations, comments, feelings, photos, and also some other embellishments like stamped things or other stickers, because I don't know, but I think that I'm very kind of visual. So for example, if I had just text everywhere, I didn't like, I wouldn't like it. I need some visual element, like, okay, a photo. Oh yes, I know, because text you have to read it, you have to go through. But in photo you see it and it's like quick, like yes, I already know what that day was about. So either if I have a photo, I will put a photo, and I use my pocket printer, you know, this not very big quality but very practical photo printers that are big like this. And you can have also papers that are sticky, so you don't need to put any adhesives on or glue on anything, and just you peel off the protective part of the photo, you stick it in here, and it's perfect. The paper is, of course, it's a photo paper, it's a little bit thicker, but it's not, I would say it's less thick than the typical, the classic photo paper. So it's also important when you deal with a thin paper like the Tomoe River paper. So I put either photo, but sometimes you don't have a photo, or it's just a feeling. So in these cases I like to use like stickers that represent, for example, something like sticker of something like happiness, or a stamp. I like very much. Maybe I will show you this in another video, because I don't have my supplies with me, but the stamps of like small girls, like these gorgeous from Santoro. Sorry for pronunciation, I don't know how to pronounce it. These girls, and they come like with in different like positions, or sometimes it's very natural, sometimes they are doing something, and generally they don't have like a mouth. You have eyes, you don't have a nose, and you don't have mouth, and so it's perfect, because I can just take a black pen or whatever, and just make add this, either the smile or a sad face or anything, or like a surprised face or something like this, just adding a corresponding shape of mouth, and it already represents, to me at least, it already represents like the mood, the activity, or what was happening. So I use these, or just, for example, if I don't know, if I had For example, an unboxing, something I got something new for my home. I can just I have a sticker that is like open the box, right? So I really like to use a lot of visual material. And then of course the details I will specify the details by adding the text, but what I need the most, it's really the visual input in order to remember quicker like what this day was about. So, and you will see the photos, or even now if you go to my Instagram, you can see what I did in the previous journals, because the you know, this style, this overall style, it's the same. Like the fact that I like to add pictures is something that characterizes my journaling. But this is not all. So of course I have like 31 pages dedicated to daily journaling. But what I decided to do at the beginning of each month, so these are the pages I haven't shown you yet. Oh, sorry. So in here, so okay, we are in this note section, right? And what I decided to do is to make a kind of monthly survey. Because if you always go from page to page, from day to day, like day by day, finally, I think, I don't know if you experienced the same, but sometimes I feel like, okay, it's like day after day, and finally I don't know like what happened that month, or that week, that specific week. And so I like to have like a bigger picture of what happened at a specific period of time. So for the weekly, of course, I have this weekly page that I can, as I said, told you, I either summarize what was happening that week, or like take one specific thing that was marking everything. And I wanted to have the same possibility for the month, and I didn't feel like I could do it in here, because this was like my mood and like my tracker. So I didn't want to do it in here, and it would be like difficult to do because you don't have a lot of space to make this summary of the month. So what I decided to do is to dedicate several pages at the beginning of each like daily session to this summary. This page will be like an index, like what you have in books or in bullet journals. So I want to have like, so the month, okay, so we are in October, representative sticker, washi tape, and here these are the days, all the days of October, 31 days. And then what I want to write in is like where, for example, the 1st, okay? The 1st of October, on which pages I was talking about the 1st October. Because of course, I will be talking about the 1st October in my weeklies. I will be talking about the 1st October in my dailies. Yes, it's clipped together, but there is the 1st October as well. And I might, depends on the situation, talk about the 1st October also in these pages. And what these, actually 3 pages, yes, more or less 3 pages, 3 sheets, what these are the category summary event survey, something like this. I will let me explain it. So, for example, I would like to know what happened on 19th of October, okay, so I can go to this page, but I would like also to know what important happened in my work, or in my personal life, or in my creative hobbies, or in my social life in October. And this, I would have to go through all these pages to see it. But this is what I don't want. What I want is actually to have a page, for example, here dedicated to work and lab happenings, events, and stuff. So in here, I would like to go. I haven't started yet, but I would like to mark the days that something important related to this specific category happened. And I will just make a kind of flash. For example, if something important at my work happened on the 3rd, I will just make a small flash and just put like 2 words like for example, I don't know, like lab meeting or something like this, like important lab meeting or some kind of, because I work in science, I'm a researcher, so maybe like my paper published, right, or something important that happened. And then I have the same for my like home and food, these like cozy things. If you have something new for your home, or you prepare something special to some special meal or anything. Also social life, so family and friends, something important or interesting happened to them, or if we spend some nice time together or something like this. Then I have my creative hobbies, and yes, I should have written hobbies, not hobby, but it was too long, so I put hobby. Well, okay, not a big deal. And I have what I call, maybe it's not the best, I don't know what how to call it, really, like intellectual hobbies. It sounds a little bit strange, but what I wanted to track in here is like reading books, or watching some interesting films, or learning languages. Okay, then we have the category of big day and event. Of course, the event, it could be also like in this category, it could fit like event related to home and food. For example, imagine some like you buy furniture, it's a big thing, right? Or you make prepare some party or something like this, or you go to some exposition like related to creative hobbies or anything. So it would be an event, or birthdays, like, so it would fit also in this like family, friends categories. But it's somehow it's like different. Like for example, when I spend a nice evening with some friends, it's not necessarily an event. And I would like also to track events as a special category, like big day event, or also like national days. All these like national days as you have like in America, or I don't live in America, but so we have like our national days here in Europe, because I'm a little bit related to different countries in Europe. I live now in France, but I'm not French. I'm from another country. And okay, and the last category is left blank for now, because it will be maybe like this miscellaneous category. I don't know yet, but I keep it in here. And once again, you can recognize the same stamp, the stamp I was using for this one, as I showed you before. Well, so this is it, and of course after this already the daily pages start. If I'm tired, I don't have time, or I know I will have to print the photos, so I just have these post-its. In here I write quickly what I want to talk about, or how many photos or embellishments or anything I want to put on this page, and it's okay, it's done for the day. And I go back to this, for example, the next day, or maybe during weekend or something like this. So yes, this is it. I'm curious to see how this will evolve. So the only page I can show you now is this one. So I was very happy, I was like celebrating my Hobonichi weeks again, because as I told you, I was using it first at the beginning of the year as my planner, and it's brown because I painted it. And here I have like, this is the Hobonichi stamp. Of course, this is the cousin or the original. It's not weeks, but I don't care. It represents Hobonichi. I'm fine with it. And I said, I told bye-bye to my happy memory journal that I was keeping before, and once again representing stickers, even if mine didn't have this cover, but it's I don't care. The important is like to represent, to have the general idea, not necessarily to be exactly the same thing. So this is all for now. I don't know yet what my next video will be about, but I will definitely come with something next Saturday. So if you like my videos, please consider subscribing or checking from time to time my channel to see whether there is something new. I thank you very much for your time. I wish you a great weekend if you are watching it on Saturday, Sunday, and see you next time. Bye bye.